give that a quick second to go across. One of the funny things for the shorts is the tool I was using misidentified our faces. So on the recent version of the clips, before I had to edit them because we had on this particular episode I grabbed it, we had one of the countdowns.
Right.
So it's like I was the one and like you were the zero. So instead of going through and finding our faces, it's like, oh, here you go. It's
Yep.
like is it improvement? I gotta admit.
Just saying, yeah.
Does the number 0, number 1 will be doing some huge numbers. It's gonna be great. It's what this podcast is.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Less face, more anonymous numbers.
Yeah. Please.
All right, but we have populated across the internet. We are live. Let's get this show started because we are live. Let's see. Kids don't know the old dad saying of old. Infinite. Oh man, that doesn't like the cadence is way off. Son of a.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like, yeah, a tongue twister or something.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Kid dad don't know the old dad sayings of old.
You need some knee slapping.
No.
Some spoons.
One too many things. All right. Let's see if we can this one. Let's try this again. Kids don't know the dad's sayings of old. Infinite Craft hides some words better not told. Great new game found playing songs of 6, and dadding got harder with social media in the mix. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old and a 12-and-a-half-year-old.
Getting close. Each week we try to show that just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
And what a great testament to fatherhood came across my feed again, which I think social media tends to be a little bit dumb with their algorithm.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you like this? Here's a lot more of that.
Yeah, immediately.
But in this case, it's a positive because I'm getting all of this positive parent reinforcement where, the previous weeks I've kind of highlighted a couple cool clips that were a bit more positive towards parenting and dad and all those things.
Right.
This trend has continued, and I'm sure you've seen it, but this is where parents, like current parents who are doing their best to do a good job, are asking their kids to finish old school parent sentences.
Right.
So the old standbys, the old threats, like the old like you're acting up, and like these are the ones your parents always went for.
Yeah.
I love the trend. I immediately knew all of them. I'm gonna throw a couple at you. I'm gonna see if I can catch you. See if you can finish any of these old school parenting sentences. As long as you live under my roof.
My rules, right?
There,
you live exactly. By my rules. Yeah.
You'll do what I say, or it's like you'll live by my rules.
Yeah.
As long as you live under my roof, you'll do as I say, or you'll pay attention to my rules. All right.
Yep.
Oh, I'll give you something to.
Oh. Hold on, because that could be like to complain about or to like think about. I don't know, something like that.
I'll give you something to.
I'm kind of going to trauma and be like, oh, I'll give you something to like cry about.
Boom, got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. These are all trauma blocks. They're just like, nope.
So that's like you were right around the edges. I knew you had it, and you're gonna be angry if you didn't have it. So it's like, oh, I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
That was a classic. Okay, so the last one, I brought you into this world.
And I can take you out of this.
That's all right. I can take you out.
Yeah.
So the gaming does. I will encourage you to seek out some of these videos. They're hilarious to see these kids try to guess at what how to possibly finish those sentences. Like it's just a riot because they do not have it. Like for us, they were like absolute cliches.
Yep.
Right. And not even like, look, I don't consider my parents toxic by any means. Like I think they were good parents. I'm very happy for them, but like they still had these old standbys.
Yeah.
And it was just like kind of a sign of the time. So to have the parents, modern kids, just be completely clueless about how to finish the sentence as long as you live under my roof, or like, oh, I'll give you something to cry about, that good stuff. Oh, it was an absolute riot. How do you think your kids had? I was thinking about asking my kids, like, how do you think your kids would handle that? What type of answers Would it be complete like left field? Do you think they have an? Are they on the other side of age where they might still get it just from the zeitgeist?
So I will confess that we have done this little.
I should have gone so hard in the paint. Just like,
Yeah.
listen, Trevor, we still say these a lot.
No. No, but we did this, like, we ran down a few of them. Like, I didn't do the ones that you said there, but it was like the more aggressive ones. So it's just like, oh, go get my belt, right?
Oh wow.
And that was a horrible one again in the past. Obviously that doesn't happen anymore. And my kid's like, why? Like, what?
To hold up
Like,
your pants? Are you okay?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why do you need that? Like, whereas, before you'd be like, oh my God, right? Something's gonna happen. But they had no idea, because I think, and which is a kind of a good sign, because we've probably created our own, but from a little bit more of a, I don't know, a loving place. Like, I'll give you something to cry about. Like, that's not great. So
like, again, like, you just get these little sweet kids and they're like, I'll give you something nice to eat.
Yeah.
What I think the better one is like this sweet little girl, and it's like, oh, it's like, as long as you live under my roof, I'm going to love you.
Yeah, you'll love me. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, the world is healing. This is great.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Hey, we'll start on a positive note. I love seeing modern, like, new parents doing their best, trying their best, and trying to make some waves. So that was great to see. Now, speaking of saying in words, a bit of an update on Infinite Craft, which we covered last week.
Yeah.
So it was a game, browser based, and it's basically just take a word, add a word onto the word, and it creates a new word. So if you add like water plus steam, or sorry, water plus fire, it turns into steam. And then you take steam plus whatever. Like, it just starts to create, and apparently you can get everything in the world. Right? So, like, quite literally infinite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, there's a lot of dark places in the world.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
There's a lot of things in the world that you don't want your 8-year-old to see. And dear old dad, the best part, like, I feel like such a chump, because even like on the video stream from the previous time we did it, like, I was noticing some things that are a little bit off base, but I kind of thought perhaps it was like the adult version. There is no adult version, Jeff. It's just the version. And I'm looking over my kid's shoulder, and it's a family show, so I'm not going to go into detail, but there was just a couple words that were not supposed to be there.
Okay.
And like, thankfully they were not completely horrific, but like, they were certainly just a dark, damn path. And it's like, oh no, this is adult stuff. Just close the laptop and, hey guys, love you to pieces. This game is now off limits. I'm sorry. Like, which sucks too, because they were trying, they were enjoying it. And it's all this word stuff, and you can see this like creativity to it, but just having the periphery that you can basically make, think whatever you think I mean from what I described. Yes, you can create that in this game. Put it that way. So unfortunately, this one, I will rescind this. I don't think I necessarily recommended it in the previous show, but just to be super clear about my position now, do not let your kids play this.
It's a new dad gaming, not recommend. Please do not. That's funny that you say that, or at least get me up to speed, because I did ask my kids after that episode if they had ever played it, and my teen said, "Yeah, oh yeah, I played that." And I'm like, "Oh, how far did you get?" "Oh, I can make everything." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what that means because I haven't played the game." And then it turns out, like, I guess you can make everything. So I don't know what they have necessarily seen, but they don't play it anymore.
I don't know how to handle that, because I want to know what they've seen. Because especially like you ask them.
Yeah.
But it's almost like they're not currently playing like let a sleeping dog lie. Like, let's just leave that thing alone. We've moved on. I'm just curious the fact that you said it, and to like, the first thing is like, oh, that you can make anything. And it didn't come up immediately.
No, I am curious, and I kind of want to find out. Just again, to understand what I should have probably been paying attention to, but didn't. But now I'm wondering if there's that like a kind of child kid safe version of it. So not Infinite Craft, but maybe like Finite Craft.
Finite Craft, like
within a PG rating.
Is there a kid mode of Infinite
And if not, maybe somebody should make one where it kind of sandboxes it a little bit.
So the answer from the web states that there is no official kid mode or child safe filter for Infinite Craft. The
Okay.
AI-driven user-generated nature of the game. Sorry, the AI-driven user-generated nature of the game means it can produce suggestive, mature, or nonsensical combinations. So parental supervision is recommended.
That is interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, so there we are, folks. You heard it here. I mentioned it before. If you thought perhaps you check it out to expand the vocabulary of your little ones, don't get a dictionary.
No.
Now, have you guys had a similar situation like that? Have you messed with Infinite Craft? Have you caught your kid playing a game something they shouldn't, or found it a bit more adult than you expected? Write in. We'd love to hear these stories at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. On to some actual just gaming, some darn ass gaming. And in looking at the trailer for it, like some gameplay of it, like I was immediately kind of taken in because it just seems to be one of those games that takes like modern sensibilities around like its building, but like is deeply soaked in the past. So this game looked absolutely fantastic and something you discovered. Why don't you describe like what you came across this week?
Yeah, so this game is called Songs of Six, and it's SYX, and it's currently in early access, so it's not a complete game by any means, but it is a city builder that I didn't know I was really into.
I didn't know I needed it.
Yeah, it's just something that appealed to me when I saw this thing. It was not just a city as in like Sim City where you just build like a little metropolis. This thing is an empire builder. So you start out with literally like 1-2 villagers and you expand into thousands upon thousands and invade a whole world that has been generated for you. So it can go on quite long. You can rise and fall your empire pretty quickly. But I will say, just for anybody that is curious, like if it kind of tickles the brain, like, oh, City Simulator, there is a demo for this thing that is very generous. And I know on this show we talk about demos and how they kind of can help sell the game to you. This thing is just has a demo that's 1 or 2 patches behind the full game, but it's the full game. So you could essentially go through the entire game yourself, 2 patches behind the official one, and have a great time for free.
That's awesome.
I played 10 hours in that demo. And I was like, you know what? I kind of owe this one developer time and money. So I will purchase the full game, which is in, again, early access. It's supposed to be a full version by the end of year. But again, he's one guy. But this thing has, I don't know, it has sucked the life and all my gaming time out of me, where I have, again, started an empire. So just to kind of explain it quickly, every single villager in this thing, every single person that you have can be a different species, has a daily life, a schedule, it will be born and die where you have to bury them and have facilities for daycare and all that stuff. It sounds pretty intense, but every single person that you raise has that. So they can get annoyed with their job if they don't specialize in that job, but you need farming to get the crops going before winter hits and then they all die. So it is very much it can be in a very intense game, but it's not anxiety inducing. Everything is pausable. You can kind of figure it out for yourself and take as long as you want, kind of pursuing everything. So
it's hard to, I'm trying to describe it because I suggest everybody listening that it has kind of piqued their interest in this to take a look at it, because I was really drawn to the visuals. So it's very much like a pixel art. It looks almost like Lemmings as far as the way the sprites kind of move.
Yeah.
But it also leans a bit into what I'd call like voxel art, in that there's like a depth and a shadow. So it's kind of like modern shadows that are hitting the pixels. So the pixels are still big and blocky, but there's like kind of modern lighting on top of it. And again, there's like some more of the niceties around kind of common gaming, but nothing, it doesn't seem like it's really holding your hand without punishing you either. So it just speaks to say like it's very compelling as soon as you see it. I never heard of it. You mentioned it. I brought up a video and immediately it's like, oh, this is cool. It's curious for you. Your journey has been interesting because you had started to dip back into Valheim.
Yes.
right? So like you're kind of messing around with like the PS1 era type of stuff, and now we're going back to DOS games, like
Yes.
SimCity type of stuff. Like you're on a bit of an interesting journey with these recent titles.
Yeah, I find these retro games, like I'll call them retro looking games or that
Mhm.
aesthetic, very charming. And maybe
Mhm.
it just like I want to relive that old, the getting the PC for the first time and waiting forever for it to boot, and then you get into a game of like Civilization or Age of Empires or something, and just that
Mhm.
pixel, because everything has to tell you something in a pixel kind of game, right? Every pixel has a purpose. Whereas
Mhm.
now, obviously, I love Witcher and love the graphics of it, but like you can have a very glossy world and generate a whole bunch of it. Where this thing has to be very efficient with what it does, right? What it
Mhm.
visually tells you. And I just find that so charming. So again, like you mentioned, I would have a look. It definitely is its own kind of art style. But I will say there's tons of mods for this thing already. So the community is very large. They love helping out with this game that is, again, still in early access and very
That's
much
cool.
approachable in any way that you want to. And the soundtrack, I don't know what it is with indie developers and soundtracks. Like
Mm.
they are amazing. And I don't know how they find the time or money to do it, but I love the soundtrack. And it's just one of those things that sticks in your brain and is very, very, I don't know, emotive of what's going on. So like the winter
Mm.
theme and the summer's theme, it just totally says what's going on. It's just unbelievable. I don't know where these people find the talent, but I love it. So I've been having a great time with this one.
That is super cool. I'm really happy to hear it. I think last I wish I'd pulled this one earlier. It does remind me a lot of Dwarf Fortress. If
Yes.
you've ever heard of that.
Oh, I played a lot of that.
Okay. So
Yes,
so
I
again,
have.
just for gaming this, so if Dwarf Fortress, if you've ever looked at Fortress from afar or have been a big proponent of it, like a big player of it, it feels like this is going to scratch an
Yes.
itch absolutely for you. Have your kids seen this by chance? Do they have any
Uh,
thoughts on it?
they have. They saw me play Dwarf Fortress for a while, right? So they know kind of like that vibe of game. And
Mhm.
then when they saw this one, didn't quite like the style.
Oh.
And there's just like a lot of menus and things going on, whereas Dwarf Fortress to them had a little bit more of a detailed sprite system, at least the updated version. So um, they know I love these games, and they know I will spend a lot of time in these games, but they themselves do not want to
Mm.
watch or even play these games.
Do not want to associate. Do not want
Nope.
to.
They find it boring. They find all this stuff going on. They're like, when are you going to wage war in the next country? I'm like, listen, I'm
Just
trying to get my crops up so that I can feed my people. Like, there's a
I'm, I'm, try-
plague.
I'm trying to get them like a longhouse. Like, what is your
Yeah.
problem? What are you talking about? War? Like
Yeah.
axes? I don't got stones for that. What is this?
No, I'm building
Uh,
here. Like, let me just live in peace. I don't want to start wars. So,
so good find, man. So Songs of Six. Game devs check it out and possibly consider supporting the project from a solo dev.
yep.
Another one that seems to be knocking it out of the park. Awesome find. That's really cool. Okay, let's handle something less positive. The-
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, so bit of a milestone for us, and not a necessarily a happy one. This would represent the first kid from New Dad Gaming that is officially on
That's true.
social media. This
I
is
am
this is
breaking new ground.
this is not a happy day necessarily. Like it's one I rue because I'm trying to think about when, like the timing of it, because I just would want to put it off as long as humanly possible, despite all of the pressures of it. But it
Yeah.
seems like your oldest is officially on Instagram.
Yes. So my 15-year-old is, well, officially asked us for an Instagram account. We never really pushed social media. They never really cared about social media until high school. And we've been very
Yeah.
fortunate because a lot of their friends were on in grade school. So maybe grade 6, 7.
Hmm.
And they have never really asked for it. They weren't interested, didn't care until now. So one would think or hope a teenager that is 15 can kind of hold their own on social media, which we sat down, ran through the whole thing of just digital literacy and like knowing how much information you put out there and blah, 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 right? Set up the account for them and just kind of work through that process just to make sure that it was okay. Because they hadn't done anything like that before. And if you tell Meta all your info, they will keep it forever.
That's not yours anymore.
Yeah, so we want to be careful about that. So yeah, just so on the sour note, when you started it up, Instagram doesn't feed you like, let's say, because it used to be like nice landscapes and coffee pictures and all this stuff, right? And I realize it's under 18 account, or it's so it says, but the stuff was serving up immediately was just not good. It was just not stuff that they were interested in, or be really appropriate for like his kind of mindset at 15. So we had to spend some time just retraining the algorithm. So it's kind of a note to parents out there, if they are setting up social media for the kids, spend maybe that first day training that algorithm with them. And then what we've done, which was a good idea for my wife, is set up just a chat to each other in Instagram. So we send links all the time through there so that when they click on it, they're served up more of the stuff that we kind of like want them to have.
Right. Okay. That's it, man. It's so problem. The thought that you ran through some of the stuff that they saw when it first came up, and it's like, for folks listening, what I'd like them to consider is, imagine your kid, imagine some of the dumbest political takes on X, right?
Yeah.
And take those and put them into Instagram, and the very first thing your teen sees is some of that nonsense. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what, it should be like skateboarding and like maybe some pranks, like some cool like art, like, you know what I mean? Like there can be beauty in social media, but the thought that like the very first exposure was negativity,
Yeah.
politics, like world, whatever they is going to be, right? It's just, what are we doing? Like, and even from like, it's surprising almost from Meta's perspective, because I almost think you'd have to work, especially as a teen account, you'd almost have to work hard to get it. You know what I mean? Like they'd have to do some searches and some clicking and like really trying to get to it to train the algorithm. But instead, the fact that it was like served up immediately,
Yeah,
kind of reveals the game. And that like, it's like, oh, here's all this stuff that's going to make you angry and anxious. Like, better check every day. It's
yeah,
like, you jerks. It is just as bad as we think it is.
yeah, and that's exactly it. They might have identified this as a teen account by turning off maybe the live aspect to it, so you can't get into live streams. I don't know if that's true from what I saw, but yeah, just the initial kind of run at things, I'm like, oh, this was going to be somewhat of a good experience, and that it just hit a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. Being a millennial or a zennial and growing up with no internet, and then the kind of introduction of internet without the parents really knowing about internet, we kind of know the wild west of the internet, and so social media didn't really hit us as hard, I find. And just introducing a kid into this where they may not have the same exposure, they don't know that if you hang on a video for that split second, you're going to get served more because it thinks you like it, right? So had to teach them to block, not engage, do this, like find the things that you want, right? He's very into piano and music. Find those creators, find that stuff that you want to learn. You're into animation and drawing, find those creators, find the game you like. It's very open, very blank canvas, and they just hadn't been exposed to that. So just a note for parents.
It's gonna be interesting to watch. What I'm curious about is, I was thinking about some of the experiences we've had with live service games like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, even to a smaller extent, and the lessons that had to come with that. It's like, because they would get friends requests, and it's like, you don't know who that is.
Yes.
They could just say anything, right? They could be entirely misrepresenting themselves. They say they're 13, they're actually 30. It's, like there's just dangers in this because it is the internet. People can just say whatever they want.
Yeah.
So much like when we came up, we had some kind of slow exposure to all of this, so it felt like we were like better prepared for it as opposed to our parents. I do wonder, even with the kids, because they've had some of this online gaming type of stuff slowly being fed into them, that they have us parents that like know how to guide them a little bit through the woods. And then secondly, like they've already had some exposure to online and some training around it. It's like, yeah, you just do not accept friends requests from people you don't know. You don't just take whatever they say for truth because you don't know
Yeah.
who they
Yeah.
are. You know what I mean? Like I almost feel like some of the gaming stuff has kind of been training for them in a way.
Yeah. One aspect that they weren't trained for is anything you post or do is out there. And if you're entering the job world and applying for college and university in a few years, that is out there and very hard to scrub off the internet. So again, just reiterating that stuff, it's not necessarily in gaming where it's kept, but they have had some exposure through Discord. That was kind of our first run at things. You know, don't accept friend requests that you don't know, blah blah blah. So
Yeah, I remember I had this. You can tell me if it's a decent idea, and dads can steal it if they like. One thing I try to really drive that point home, because the thing where anything you put online is there forever, and you don't have control over it anymore.
Yeah.
And the photo part specifically bothered me, especially with the kids coming up. So the demonstration I did with mine, because he got Facebook Messenger Kids, so that
yes,
he can keep in contact with his cousins and family members.
right.
But what I had him do is like, hey, do me a favor, like take a goofy photo, like make a silly face, take a photo of it and send it to me. And so he did it, right? So then it's like, hey, cool, I have it on my phone. Ask me to delete it. It's like, it's silly. You don't want me to have this, right? Ask me to delete it. He's like, so yeah, well, get rid of it. I'm like, no. He's like, and then so I said, watch this. And then I sent it to my wife. And it's like, okay, it's like, how do you feel about that? He's like, I didn't let you do that. It's like, doesn't matter. You don't own it anymore. The second that you sent it to me, you've lost all power on it, and it now exists forever. I can post it online. I can send it to everybody I know. I can send it to your school, to your friends, whoever I want to, right? You need to understand the second you send something, it's not in your power anymore. It's not in your control. So you have to be very careful about it.
Yeah, no, that's a
So
good example. That's a great kind of, again, interactive example of, right, where
yeah.
they see the immediate like, oh, I didn't consent
Yeah.
for you to do that, and
And
you're
my
like,
wife
oh,
comes in, she's like,
oh,
oh, look
how
at this
come?
photo. Just like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
just because I think there's nothing better than a demonstration of like how does this feel? Like how powerless you feel. This is like that's what it's like. So you really need to be critical when
yeah,
you're thinking about what you're doing.
yeah.
So just throw that in the mix. Gaming dads. Hey, gaming dads out there. Do you have are your kids on social? Has it caused problems? Have you had your own methods of being able to help and control it? We'd love to hear about it. Just for ourselves and actually the whole audience here as we all fight through this together. Right into us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Did you know that Pokemon TCG actually has battles?
I did
Like,
not.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
Dads may remember a couple episodes ago, my kids were clamoring to use Pokemon trading card game TCG on their like tablets, things like that, because I'm going to get packs. I'm going to rip them open and great. As best to my knowledge, I would have sworn an oath on this. Is I swear that is only a card collection game where it's
That's
like
what I thought.
you get a pack a day and you get to pretend like you rip it and like, oh joy, I got Mewtwo. Oh happy day.
Yeah,
But it's an actual game, man. Like you can actually you put together decks with the cards that you collect, and then you can go and battle other people. And the
I
best part is like I was watching like for the first time we've had with all the cards that we've had, we have never played a game of Pokemon
yeah,
ever.
no, yeah.
So for the first time in this app, he was learning how to play Pokemon officially with the cards. It's like, yeah, you know those thousands of cards you have. It's like this is the game you can actually play if you want to like put stuff through. It should not have. I don't know why it was so shocking, but I was like floored at the idea. Like, wait, this actually just battles with other people with decks you put together. Like, my God, it's not just a pack opening simulator.
See, well, like I was fine with the pack opening simulator. I don't know what, but I'm wondering, did they launch for that? Because I completely missed that menu, or maybe I was just low level because I wasn't battling and going around and doing things with other people and whatever. But I was happy cutting the cards open and getting the packs that way. So
Let's
I missed out. I sound
let's
so old saying that though.
Oh, back when it first launched.
Or no, just like, oh, dad missed the entire half of the game because they didn't look at one menu. Or wasn't
Just okay.
reading.
We're doing a quick Google search here to answer dad questions. So it's like the
Should have Googled first.
oh, that's hold on. I got the Pokemon TCG mobile.
Oh yeah, this is where you have to specify everything, right? Like, what do you mean?
My first search is like, yes, well, the Pokemon cards first launched in 1996. Like, oh. Okay, so the Pokemon trading card game Pocket, the mobile app launched in October 2024, launched with both battle mode and collection features. Out of the box, you could have been playing this.
I completely missed that, and I was happy opening those packs and got my kids to open the packs and everything else. Nope.
You were in the mix playing, and you never once saw an opportunity to battle.
Nope. I
That's
did
a
not. Or
riot.
maybe and even if I did, I'm like, what, battle like each other? Like like how am I gonna battle? Like it's an online thing? Like nope, did not
I put my Pikachu against my Charizard. Like, what am I supposed to do?
That's not gonna work. Like, what are
are
you
we
doing?
here?
Huh,
Hey,
interesting.
I gotta say, I'm probably gonna I'm curious. I'm kind of because if it's less punishing than say Magic the Gathering, as far as like its mechanics and the gathering of it, like maybe if you can put together a decent deck without having to spend crazy amounts of currency, I'd be kind of like I might be downloading this, and I can report back next week if it's like this might scratch a card battler itch.
Wouldn't that be funny though? You're like you just discovered this like battle side of this just random game that you've had for a bit, and you're like,
I'm gonna replace
this is my jam.
Instead of trying to stream Marvel Snap, I'm gonna stream me playing Pokemon now.
Yes,
it's gonna be our new life.
That's what it's gonna be. That's fine. I'll go download it again and we can battle again.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
You're doing it live, folks. You're doing it live. Hey, everybody, that's going to wrap it up here for the show this week. Thank you so much for listening. As we stated, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any concepts on or ideas for any of the things we discussed here today, Infinite Craft, have you done the old parents saying trick with your kids to see if they would know what the second half as long as you live under my roof is? Are your kids on social media? Do you have some strategies? We'd love to hear about all this stuff. One of the greatest parts of the show is interacting with other gaming dads. Jeff and I absolutely adore it. So go ahead and write into us. Find us on our website, newdadgaming.com, or on the socials at newdadgaming. For the podcast itself, if you like the episode, it really helps us out is if you find us on any of the platforms. So iTunes, Spotify, Caster, Google Play, anywhere where you get your podcast. Search for New Dad Gaming, subscribe. If you can leave a comment and a rating, really helps out the show. Jeff and I would be eternally grateful. Have had some great momentum, have met some really great gaming dads the last little while. So just hoping to keep that up, reach out to as many gaming dads as possible. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old, 12-and-a-half-year-old, and if all your friends jumped off the bridge?
Oh my God, that's a fantastic one. Remember, everybody, I'll give you something too. My name is Trevor, and I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 15-year-old and a 12-and-a-half-year-old.
Remember, just because he became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
See you next week.
See you later.
Okay. For anybody joining us here live on the recording, we're going to switch over to our Gaming Dad question of the week.
Pew, 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 pew.
God, we should get some more sound effects. That's what this thing needs.
Like days of like PowerPoint transitions where you just discover
star wipe star
boards and
some of that. Oh no, let's share the screen because then we can do some of the
oh, I'm bouncing around. Oh no.
Oh, if we could like time like the hits as we go into the different places, that'd be great.
Being shaken.
All right, let's hit this one. And now it's time for New Dad Gaming questions. This week, Gaming Dad Logan had sent in a question regarding how our emotional state towards games changed upon becoming dads. So he asks, has becoming a dad made you more emotional during games? So that was a fascinating one. For myself, it wasn't so much for games; it was for movies. But I'd be curious, like directly for the question itself, where you landed on has becoming a dad made you more emotional during games? And they had referenced in the question, for instance, like God of War, especially like the later entries of it when he's a father,
Yes.
Last of Us, which had some strong parental type of themes. Has becoming a dad uh, made you more emotional during games?
Yeah, for me with those specifically those two games mentioned, I would say yes, definitely.
Mm.
Just being a dad at the time when I was playing those games, I could understand the motivations, right? Like I had
Mm.
more of a sense of the motivation and the threat or risk behind certain decisions the characters were making. So specifically in like Last of Us, where Joel loses Ellie for a period of time and like he's distraught. He's trying to find her. He doesn't know what's happened to her. And that's something that I felt like, oh, like if I ever like our kid has gone missing for a split second at like a mall or something, and that emotion just kicking in and the frantic nature of it definitely felt like in Joel's shoes at that point, right? And
Mm.
there's some heavy emotional moments in that game and even God of War where, there's a death or something that happens. Man, I don't know. I took all that in. I'm like, I am not prepared to play this
This is
or
just supposed to be my
experience this in
happy
life.
time.
Yeah, yeah. You're like all this character trauma here that like I'm just relating to my own life and what would happen, how would I feel? I would bring that into these type of games.
Hmm.
So I very much that does apply for all the games that I've experienced that kind of lens with. And maybe that's why I gravitate towards, city builders and like a cozy Witcher and
You want to be 1,000 feet up at all
yeah,
times, looking down at the
that's
action,
right. I'll
so you're
take
not
care
seeing.
of them from up here.
Yeah,
So what about yourself though? I don't know. You said movies, not so much games.
yeah. So I can resonate a bit with God of War. I remember some of the time, like the pull of I can't say that I empathize with him. As like, yeah, God of War. That's exactly like I am as a dad.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, but I could still feel some of the feelings of wanting to express yourself more, things like that. You could resonate with. And when he was trying those first few times to put his like hand on the shoulder to be reassuring,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that was like a gut punch as far as like a dad. Like that, even just the fact because I do have that. So for a dad not to have it, you're like, oh, just go a little further, just touch him, like love your child. It's gonna be great. But anything movies now take me for a ride. Like anything like parental. I remember there's a scene. I got two like I don't call them embarrassing necessarily, but just interesting examples. Like one in Moana, where she's having the conversation with her grandma's ghost.
Oh yeah.
Because I think for some reason it just draws me to like my grandmother and just like that, and it just even like that parental type of relationship that somewhat exists. It just is now more emotional because there's parts for me to tap into. I will say the book by Robert Munch, like my baby. Oh damn, I can't remember the title of it. Was it like My Baby You'll Be?
Oh God, that one. Yeah, where it was about his
Yeah,
kid and losing him to
Munch.
cancer or something.
Well, that was it's interesting. That's never explored in it. I only found that like later. Love You Forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like at the end, when it's disgusting, the mother things like that, like I just can't. Like it is so heart wrenching, and everything that comes out of me from being emotional about being a dad, like immediately just comes to the surface. And I've read 100 times, like I know the song, like I like to read it like Robert Munch when I do it.
Yes.
And he picks the baby up and he goes across the floor. Doing my best Robert Munch impression. And then you get to the end and it's just like, I just can't. Like every time I'm reading it.
No.
And that's a new thing. Like that came after becoming a father. So it does just seem to. If anything, I need to. I've never played The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I'd almost feel like I now, upon reviewing this question, I'm almost more drawn to try it, just so I could see what that experience would be like for me.
Yeah, I maybe see what place you're in life when you do. Um and even just like so again relating it to emotions, my kid has experienced it as well when they kind of have a parental kind of vibe on screen. I
Mm.
remember downloading, I don't know if you play it, Ori and the Blind Forest. It's like
Oh,
the most heartbreaking intro ever. And
yeah.
my kid was crying. I was tearing up because they were crying. I was like, oh my God, I thought this was a fun platformer.
Like minute one.
I'm like, oh my God. So just warning. Yeah, but I love that games can do that. That's great. That's fantastic. Even movies, right? Like all that kind of art, right? That can speak to you. But yeah, it's a trip. It's just so being a parent, I think, exposes you to some things that you may not be exposed to like beforehand, like just the connections that might not be as strong. That's not to say that you can't experience them, but holy, sometimes life just gets you. You're tired. Your kid's been acting up. Maybe you didn't kiss him that night because they, I don't know, drew on the wall or something. And then all of a sudden you play this game and then you're like, okay, hold on. I have to wake up my kid, hug them.
Son, wake up. What?
Yeah.
Didn't hug you night. Good night. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
I didn't mean anything by it. Don't worry.
Make you pancakes tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good though, man. I'd prefer to be much more connected to emotions, and then it's kind of interesting to be able to go through these pieces of media
Yeah,
with
for sure.
having that like stronger resonance with it. Just makes it all the more powerful. So, yeah, I think that's a strong yes. I think to the question from Gaming Dad Logan, has becoming a dad made you more emotional during games? For these two dads, that's a yes. Hey, gaming dads out there, do you have your own New Dad Gaming question you'd like to send? Reach out to us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. We'd love to have a good conversation, feature you on the channel. And this has been New Dad Gaming Questions. All right, let's wrap her for the week and end the stream. Thanks everybody for listening.